This is The Sporting Life on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Here's Jeremy Schaap.
Commentating on sports actually isn't as easy as it looks. Imagine how challenging it would be if you can't see. Well, our next guest, Bryce Weiler, has been a sports commentator despite the fact that he is blind. He is also a disability consultant for the Baltimore Orioles, and he's done much work to help benefit those with disabilities. It's a pleasure to welcome to The Sporting Life, Bryce Weiler. Bryce, thank you for being with us.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you so much for having me on.
Bryce, how did you become a sports commentator when you can't see the games that are taking place?
I became a radio broadcaster at the University of Evansville, where Tom Benson taught me how to properly commentate Evansville sports on the radio as a radio broadcaster who is blind, by reading facts on the players and coaches, studying both teams' games, and listening to the play-by-play broadcaster, studying his or her style, and learning how I can weave my commentary into the story that is told by the play-by-play broadcaster.
I mean, it's a remarkable thing to do. Why is it something you wanted to do?
Because growing up, listening to sports on the radio was important to me. Being from the Midwest, listening to Brian Barnhart commentating Fighting Illini sports on the radio and Don Fisher commentating Indiana Hoosier sports on the radio, those were two broadcasters that I grew up listening to, and I wanted to be able to give back and to help others be able to understand sports.
We're speaking with Bryce Weiler. And Bryce, how did you lose your eyesight?
I was born 4 months premature, and when I was born, due to too much light or oxygen, the retinas in my eyes detached.
So you have no memory of being able to see?
No, because I was almost born blind my entire life.
How long have you been working in the sports realm?
I've been doing things in sports ever since I got into college at Evansville in 2010. Started with commentating games on the radio and then moved into other things at Evansville.
What kind of things are you doing now?
Currently, I am helping run a nonprofit called the Beautiful Lives Project, where we work to help individuals of all disabled groups be able to live their dreams through programs where they can do things with sports teams, playing on the court or the field, performing with a cheerleading or dance team, doing art events. And if people would like to look at our nonprofit website, it's www.beautifullives.org. beautifullives.org, and we'd love to have as many people help us invest in smiles as possible.
What made sports so compelling for you when you've never seen a game? You've never seen these things that you're so passionate about.
Sports became so interesting for me by being able to listen to them on the radio, and then when I was at the University of Evansville, the former Aces head men's basketball coach Marty Simmons gave me the opportunity to sit on his basketball bench, which was something I'd always dreamed about doing, being a part of a sports team. And after finishing college, I wanted to give that back to other individuals who may be blind or whatever a challenge someone is facing in their life, giving individuals of all disabled groups the opportunities to live their dreams.
We're speaking with Bryce Weiler, who is an advocate for those with disabilities. He is a sports broadcaster. He's inspired so many people already, but you are eager, as you say, to spread your message. What do you think it is that everyone listening should understand about the capabilities of those with disabilities?
Just because someone is blind or whatever challenge they might be facing in their life does not mean that this individual cannot be a great member of society, cannot hold a high-class job, cannot live his or her dreams or goals, and they just need people to support them and to help them get through people who do not think they can be successful because they're blind or facing other challenges in their life.
What are your dreams, Bryce?
I'm quite satisfied doing the work I'm doing to help individuals of all disabled groups be able to live their dreams, and I want to continue doing that with sports teams across the country, continue making the Beautiful Lives Project, which I am the co-founder of, be as successful as it can be, helping individuals of all disabled groups to live their dreams, grow their passions, and be able to achieve their goals in life.
And again, how can you get involved with Beautiful Lives?
People can look at our website, www.beautifullives.org. They can email me at bryce@beautifullives.org, and they can call me or text me with any questions they might have. My phone number is 812-899-5673, 812-899-5673.
We're speaking with Bryce Weiler. And Bryce, before we let you go, you've done so many remarkable things. You are now, as we mentioned earlier, the Baltimore Orioles disability consultant. And I'll be frank, I didn't know that teams had disability consultants. Well, in that role, what do you do?
I have helped the Orioles become the first team in sports to wear Braille on their jerseys to honor people who are blind. I've helped to give fans of various groups of disabled individuals the opportunity to play with the Orioles players and coaches on the field at their home stadium of Camden Yards before 2 home games last season. Furthermore, I have helped ensure that the Orioles spring training stadium, Ed Smith Stadium, as well as their home stadium of Camden Yards are accessible for individuals of all types of groups.
Bryce, I feel we'd be remiss right now having you on the show at this point in time if I didn't ask, with what we're experiencing right now, not only in this country but all over the planet, the coronavirus crisis, what are the particular challenges for the disabled and specifically for the blind?
People who are disabled, not just individuals who are blind, because one should not single out one group of disabled individuals over another. Sometimes it can be hard to find some assistance if people need to get to the grocery store, or even having the groceries brought to them, because sometimes going through a crowded grocery store can be hard for someone who is in a wheelchair or has to use a walker, or just even getting out because some of the public transportation is not running on its normal schedule. So people can reach out to their friends and neighbors, whether they are disabled or not, and ask them if they need help and how they can help them.
Well, Bryce, I appreciate your being on the show and the work you do, the advocacy work that you do. We wish you the best of luck. Stay safe. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for having me on.
I'm Jeremy Schaap, and you can listen to new editions of The Sporting Life every Saturday and Sunday morning on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.